All right, welcome back. Episode 22 of the Young Old Heads podcast. My name is Tommy, aka TV Sports Cards. I'm one of your hosts, and I'm here with my good friend Max, aka Cards Max, aka Cards Max Logofractor edition. Max, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I am tired. I had a busy weekend last weekend, but I have an even busier Monday because I'm sitting here in the Young Old Heads podcast studio with none other than TV Sports Cards.
It's an honor every week, Max. I want to hear all about this weekend that you had. I saw a lot of action on social media and need to know what went down in Massachusetts. Question mark?
In Springfield, Massachusetts, a
Ah,
glorious city that is built upon an MGM casino, and that seems to be the center of the city
nice.
that I spent some time in but didn't gamble. Didn't gamble this episode. But I was set up at the New England Card Show, a 2-day show spanning none other than Saturday and Sunday, with one of a very loyal listener of the show, Saratoga Slabs. It was an interesting experience. I enjoyed tabling. This was definitely the biggest show that I tabled. It was 300 tables wide and 300 tables long for a total of 300 tables.
The math does not add up there.
Well, it's a figure of speech.
It was just 300 tables in a row directly down a line. That would be amazing.
No, it wasn't. But metaphorically, it was because it felt slow. I've been told that that this iteration of the New England Card Show was slower than previous New England card shows. I don't know. Now we're getting into card show theory of is having an audience spanned over 2 days best, or does it just dilute both days? I'm not sure.
Can you give me a ratio of the show, cases to no cases, walking around?
What do you mean by cases to no cases?
My famous cases theory of how many for the proportion of people walking
Oh,
around
yes.
carrying
Yes, I know this
briefcases.
theory. It was not a very strong briefcase show. It was more like you are in the New England area and this is the card show to go to because I believe there is that New England card show and the big flippin' card show, or which is now the big weekend card show, which I think they alternate, they are both once a month and they go in the off 2 weeks. I'm not sure because I am not from the New England area, so I don't have this down to a bone. This was a 5-hour train commute for me. 5-hour train, half an hour drive. Big train commute. Worth it. I picked up some cool stuff. Was it worth tabling? Well, me and Mr. Saratoga Slabs were splitting the table fee and the table itself. Combined, it was a $300 table cost. Probably worth it. We had some walk-up buys that made it worthwhile-ish. I only had 2 walk-up buys, and that's my barometer of if it's worth it.
Yeah,
The
how much? What did you
sales,
sell? What did you sell?
I didn't sell much. I think my biggest sale was a Mookie Betts paper rookie card for $35.
So how
People
how how do you calculate this being worth it to you if you only sold if that was your biggest sale?
because the buys that I had will be able to cover enough margin to make it worth it.
Well, all right. Well,
Maybe.
then tell me about these buys
Oh, nothing
that you.
crazy. Nothing more like the discounts at people going up to the table saying, "Hey, like, do you buy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do buy." And it's funny because it's a very Mookie Betts and Xander Bogaerts heavy area. Um, Biggest thing that I did not buy. I'm going through this guy's cards, and I don't know. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the product. Filmington on Instagram, who I don't know personally, has a rookie card explosion box, and he'll take cards from various different products across the years, just to make a fun repack product. And these are the rookies to chase, and you hope you hit one big. So this guy had one of those boxes, and in it was 2012 update, and he had a Mike Trout All Star Game black parallel.
Oh, that is nice. What did he want for it? Like
He didn't.
5K?
No, he didn't offer a price. He says, "Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it should be." I took out $1,000 cash, and I'm like, "I'll give you $1,000 cash for this card right now."
It was raw.
Raw. and he thought it over for a good 5 minutes and declined it. And that hurt. Because I've owned this exact card and I've shared this card with you.
Yeah,
I bought it off my slabs, presumably off someone who bought it off Golden or PWCC. That's my inclination. And then sold it to a high up card executive 2 weeks later for $2,000, I think, give or take. And that was slabbed as a BGS 8.5. This one was raw and probably would have graded about the same.
damn,
But that kept me on my toes. That's why you have a table, so you get cards like that to show up.
that's pretty sweet.
But I didn't close.
You
But
didn't
I
close.
felt I was pretty competitive.
You did close on a Trout Black parallel, though. I saw on Twitter.
I did. I found one of the first tables in the room had a BGS 9.5 no subs Mike Trout, along with a Mike Trout Black SGC 9.5. The person was telling me how at the National he ripped open a hobby box of 2022 Top Series 1, pulled the black, did SGC raw card review. They gave it a 9.5 and he slapped it. So 10s are very, very hard to find in Mike Trout and any flagship black, let alone something coveted like a Mike Trout black. So that's actually my second SGC 9.5 Mike Trout that I own. I own the recently acquired 2022 one that I just bought this weekend, as well as a 2021 Mike Trout Black, and I have a 2020 PSA 6 Mike Trout Black. And slowly but surely, I'm making my way back trying to get the main black parallels, but it is tough, expensive, and pricey.
Yeah, I'm impressed that you've even made it 3 of the way in. That's worthy of a shout out, regardless. Yeah. But
I paid I mean, I didn't pay overly aggressive, but the update was a little bit sweet in the pot. Getting that, that's a way more expensive card. I think it was the raw card was worth 85. That's what the last auction did on the black, and then I paid 100 for the 9.5.
That makes sense. I always trust that you're gonna probably pay a little bit over what other people will pay for Trout veteran parallels.
I mean, granted, it was an SGC 9.5.
Yeah, but I don't really know if that does that much to it though. But you want to know what I did this week, Max? I did not do anything card related for the entire weekend, basically. But I did do something on Friday. It might be a first, but that's because I'm going to Vegas on Wednesday. So we're sponsored. LedX is sponsoring the Las Vegas Card Show trade night Friday night. So see TV Sports Cards in Vegas for the next few days, which is gonna be a lot. And then Saturday night, Max, this is insane. This is one of the craziest things that I've ever done in my life, I think. So next episode, when we check in on how this goes, might be a shell of a human being. But I'm in Vegas Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. Saturday, I'm flying with Jake LedX from Vegas to LA because friend of the program, Kimball, aka Sunsport Trading, who was on, I think, episode 16 or something, is hosting a trade night for only F1 cards. And he really wanted me to come out. So I was like, you know what, dude? This sounds awesome. Kimball's the man. He's absolutely hooked it up for us and was a great guest. And I'm going out there for one night, flying back to Chicago Sunday morning. Flying back Sunday morning, one night in LA. It's going to be a blast, but I'm going to be absolutely a shell of a human being on Sunday. So expect next episode on Monday.
The Kimball episode is an absolute must watch.
Oh, it's a banger for sure. That's definitely a top 5 episode of Young Old Heads history. But we'll definitely have to have him on again. But I'm excited to come out and check out.
This is like a recharge week, at least for me, in terms of what I've gone through. You are prepping for Las Vegas and also haven't had the most eventful. I mean, you had a standard week, which is an eventful week for Tommy Vaughn, but obviously not a cards on steroids injected in my veins and cocaine week.
Yeah, that's going to be this next week, not injected with cocaine, but I did do one mess around.
Metaphor.
Yes, metaphorically, figuratively.
300 wide, 300 long.
But I fucked around on ComC for the first time, Max. And ComC is something I don't think we really talked about, mainly because I've never spent any money on it. I know you talk shit about it sometimes, but I'm here to defend ComC.
I'm a hater and a lover.
I dropped $100 into ComC because I was like, all right, weird situation, Vault. You have to put credit in. This doesn't really make that much sense. I'll throw $100 in, see what all the fuss is about, because all I hear online is that ComC's where it's at for cheap, cool stuff. And I'm like, all right, we'll see what's up. I go on there. I immediately just spend like $80 just without even really trying on a bunch of random stuff. But I don't really know how I feel. It's confusing how to use it, like send offers and stuff. Max, can you give me a quick rundown of your experience with ComC?
I have never sent a ComC offer in my life.
Never?
Never. Just want to make that clear.
You've never sold or bought anything on ComC?
I've never sold on ComC. I've bought on ComC and I've just added items to my cart.
Okay. And then you just ship them
and
to
then
yourself?
checked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I think you can have it stashed in your own ComC pile and not have to ship immediately. Because you can buy it all and then you can ship at once.
All right. Well,
That's the allure.
Yeah.
You know that
ComC's, we have someone actually who's about to join the podcast who is a friend of the program. And we have decided to bring on due to the fact that we are not a sports podcast, but we do respond to sports news and how it impacts cards. And the Mariners of Seattle made the playoffs for the first time in 21 years. And we have a fan of the Mariners who is very famous for his sad state of his fandom as a Mariners fan. So we're gonna get Logan of Logan's League on here and start talking cards, baseball playoffs, and we'll get back to ComC after, or just with him. We'll see. But let's see.
is he in the waiting room?
Oh, Logan, you're now live on the podcast right now. How you
he
doing,
looks
man?
so handsome.
Thank you. How's it going, guys? I'm glad.
It's going good.
This is appearance number 2 for me.
Dude.
I just have to say something. This is appearance number 2 for me, and Saratoga Slabs has 0. I'm just gonna put that out there right now.
That is 100% on Max. Max, do you have anything to say about that?
He is the number 8 most loyal listener of this podcast.
Some people are just listeners. Some people are friends of the program. Some people are esteemed friends of the program, such as yourself, Logan. How are you responding? Mariners' first playoff run in 21 years. What was your feeling as Cal Raleigh hits this walk-off home run? I can only imagine.
I didn't even. I was drinking that night, but I didn't. I blacked out for like a good 2 or 3 minutes. It was insane. I mean, of course they were going to the playoffs, and it was a foregone conclusion. But the way it happened, you couldn't have written it up any better. It was insane. And I'm getting on my Snapchat, I'm getting memories from last year and how they didn't make it to the playoffs last year. So this time last year, I was super down. It's just crazy. A year later, talking about the Mariners are actually going to the playoffs, and they're playing in playoff games on Friday, and it's just, it's a feeling I've never had before. That's for sure.
And to make it even sweeter, your boy Jared Kelenic is actually balling out, kind of? Question mark?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's now down to, since he's been called up, 240, 250, but he had, what was it? Thursday night had 2 home runs. He had an opposite field home run, and his card prices have actually, gone up a little bit. We're seeing some life in them, which is, I never thought that was going to happen. I thought he was going to be shipped off, that the Mariners were they were done with him. He was done with them. But now we're talking about him being the starting lineup come Friday, even with Julio back.
This is going to be the biggest redemption story in the history of the hobby this year. If he can go from all the way up to the most down bad you can be, basically, to now just in the playoffs starting possibly, that'd be pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, I just never expected Kelenic to be back up this year, to be doing well. He looks different at the plate, and he's smiling again, which is crazy.
We love a guy that smiles. Max, how are you feeling right now as a Yankees fan? I know you're a big home team guy.
I am drawing parallels to my hots and colds with Gleyber Torres right now, and this season in general has been a hot. Logan, has Kelenic's acute success made you want to buy and cherish his trading cards more?
It's funny you say that, because when his stuff was going back up, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sell, which I did sell a little bit, but now I'm like, I held when I had a chance to sell everything before the season when his stuff was hot, not buy back into him, be done. And then I bought back into some stuff, and I was really down bad on it. and now he's actually made it back on my shelf as a display in my room, and I have 5 cards left of him, and they're all pretty cool looking cards. So I feel like I want to hold for now because I held when he was that down bad, and if I get crazy offers on eBay on the card, sure, I'll take it. But like
Are you going to
for
be
now,
a Jared Kelenic super PT?
no, I
What
don't.
would it take though? World Series MVP,
Well,
conference or AL MVP,
I will
AL.
say this. I will say this. Because we know I don't like the word PC, but we'll say super collection. I will pick up if I can get at card shows cool like non-rookies of his. I would love to have 30 to 40 to 50 in my binder of cool cards of him because he was before Julio, it was Kelenic and the excitement last year with him and everything. And I've taken a lot of shit for it on Twitter and dish out other things with him. So I will always have Kelenic cards, that's for sure.
That's awesome. I think I love your commitment to him and the Mariners franchise. That's admirable to say the least. But whose thought is Cal Raleigh now going to have a binder page in the Logan's League binder? What are you going to go after? I know he has rookie cards this year, right?
Yes.
Series
So I'm hoping in the
I
off
think.
season that he is in series 2, and he's in obviously in Topps Chrome, and he's in the new Topps Chrome Logofractors. So I'm hoping that I can pick up a few of his cards in the off season. He's definitely cemented himself as he'll probably, if obviously year 1 of him doing well, but there hasn't been a lot of good catchers in Mariners history outside of Dan Wilson, and nobody knows who Dan Wilson is. So outside of Seattle, so he has a good chance to go down as the greatest Mariners catcher of all time, and he definitely fits in the binder now for sure.
You heard it here first. The greatest Mariners catcher of all time. That's like saying the best Giants left fielder since Barry Bonds. It's like there's no one.
Hey, I mean, he has, I think 26 or 20, no, 25, 26 on the season. I think you could put him up there as a top 7 or 8 catcher right now. And he was hitting 058 back in May, and now is up to like 206. So
we love to see him above the Mendoza line.
Yes. Above the Jared Kelenic line. That's
Jared
Kelenic
now. Well, there's one card thing, Logan, that I want to talk about because me and Logan haven't touched, or me and Max haven't touched on this yet. There is the big news this week about the MLB Logofractor boxes coming out, and it was like the classic Twitter thing where it comes out at the MLB store. They're like, the MLB store has these Logofractor boxes, and then they're on the Topps website. And everyone's like, what the hell is going on? And then you see the Julio Rodriguez, a vertical, sweet-looking card, which I think was his 3D image too, right? Am I wrong on that?
It's similar to the 3D image, and it's similar to the national rookie. So all 3 of those are vertical.
Okay. And I saw that. I immediately am like, what's going on? Seems like Topps maybe trying to cover their ass, but it seems like I don't know how they would have been able to get product out like this. So it must have been planned. And it seems like it's like 5 base packs and then these like kind of mega box Bowman type refractors. You just ripped a box. Am I tripping?
I just ripped 3 boxes.
How'd it go?
I pulled a Wander, so I can't complain there. I got some, and there's color in every. So in the 2 mega packs or the Logofractor packs, there's 2 color in each of those. I think it's a success. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's a success by Topps because it was kind of nobody knew that they were coming out, and it was just released at the store. They're not a retail product besides at the top store in New York, and then it's now sold out online. So it's kind of cool. That's a 110 card checklist, and obviously color in each 2 packs, and you have a chance at some good veteran autos as well. It's not the same as Topps Chrome where you have 55 relief pitcher autos.
Yeah, but me and Max have talked a lot about what we consider iconic parallels, kind of innovations in card parallel games that have either been swing and misses or home runs. And this I haven't really decided on yet. Max, what's your initial reaction to the Logofractors?
I like the I am very mixed on it. The MLB store is interesting. Back in 2020, we had the MLB NYC New York parallels that were available with every purchase of above $50 or something like that, and they were serial numbered out of 99, and they sold out quick of those promo cards because they had a Jordan rookie card, they had a Bo Bichette, I believe they had Luis Robert. It was a very strong checklist, and when the MLB store, which is I believe is directly backed by Fanatics and is everything, it's just Fanatics with MLB's logos and equipment behind it. The Logofractor configurations boxes were first. It wasn't completely out of the blue. The first notice that we had of these was when Topps messed up the silver pack, messed up the super short print. Oh no, the base set extended short prints. Want to make sure I get my diction right. And that Logofractor boxes would not have these issues, and these would be included in the product. We still haven't not seen one yet. Very important to make clear. We have not seen an extended base set image variation or just card of Julio Rodriguez, CJ Abrams, Hunter Green. I don't know the other two.
This is October 3rd. October 3rd.
Spencer Torkelson, Bobby Witt.
Yeah.
Yep. Those are the 5.
Yeah, I know my shit cold. But so this led to confusion. What are these Logofractors? Oh, it's just another way for Topps to dilute everything. And $50 a box SRP. Don't love it. But at the same time, a lot of people do seem to love it. And when we have blasters at $30 plus tax or $35 plus tax and Mega is more expensive, this is a way to get guaranteed numbered color. They're relatively short printed, given by the numbered odds on them, and that you're guaranteed 2 colored cards per pack. I don't like it. Get it out of my hands. I don't want to touch it. I don't even want to flip it. I don't even want to scalp it.
You just kind of flipped. I thought you were going to go the complete other way on that.
Fun to rip, I guess.
Logan, I have a box on the way. I have a box on the way.
I totally disagree with you on this one, Max. I think it's awesome because of the short. I think the biggest thing is the shortened checklist. So then you also have only 110 base cards, and then you get 2 color in each pack. And I think that's 2 color in each box. And I think that's the biggest thing because you look at, obviously things will settle, but you still, if you can get it for $50, I think, and you can get a Wander or you can get an O'Neal Cruz, and then you get a decent color of a vet of like a Cunha, Tatis, Soto, Ohtani, or whatever, you have a good shot at making your money back plus a little bit more. And there's obviously the chance of getting the Julio SSP or SP, whatever, extended base, whatever you want to call it. I really think the floor on those is.
Yeah, I saw an auction go for like $2,800 for the Julio Logofractor, and that seemed crazy to me. But
I think it was $3,500.
The first one ended at exactly $3,500. Yeah, I don't know if it was paid for or not. I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too. That's crazy, but I'm excited to rip it just because it seems cool, and I like the guaranteed number stuff. It seems like a way better value rip than normal Topps Chrome this year. I like a Blaster or Mega, so excited to do that. But
and the auto checklist is very, very good. With they have a few decent rookies, and then
Lars Nootbaar,
friend of the program.
Friend of the program, absolute legend. But I think I was looking at the checklist. I think the base checklist is for autos is like 20 to 25, and there's only like 3 or 4 that are like terrible rookies that you wouldn't want. Other than that, you have Jordan, you have Ohtani, you have Eloy, you have Pete Alonso. Even guys like, it won't sell for crazy, but like Max Muncy doesn't have on the Dodgers, doesn't have a ton of autos.
I definitely see it. As long as they don't do this every single year. Like, I don't know if I would want Logofractor boxes every year, but I like it.
Or if they switched it up and did something next year and like had it like be a little bit different or something. Yeah, I just think with the 110 card checklist, that's the biggest thing, is they kept it relatively small.
Yeah.
And they didn't put it in Walmart or put it in Target or anything. So it's just at the store or online, which I think is cool too.
Yeah, and it seems like they're not going to print this product to oblivion, which you love to see from Topps. Usually, they're a glutton for overprinting.
Oh yeah,
and
they
I was
could have just said, "Hey, this is the same as Topps current as the normal hobby. It's the same checklist," and it would have been terrible.
Yeah, exactly. But I want another thing, Logan, that I want you and Max to go head to head on here. As I'm interested. Friday, we teased it with the Mariners. We got the baseball playoff starting, and I want to know. We don't tell you anyone what to buy and what to sell, but I want to know your thought process behind what you're buying.
Okay, that's fair. I think like the hot, like big stars right now are not. I mean, they may become more available during the playoffs if they're playing well, and you may see some like Max and I've talked about. I feel like I've seen so many Aaron Judge cards that I never knew existed from his rookie year or other years for parallels or super short prints. But I think a huge thing for the playoffs is if you can find a guy that you think is kind of under the radar on a couple teams that you think are going deep in the playoffs, that's not a big name, and you can get the cards get some autos for, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks. You buy 10, 15 of those right now, and you're looking at like a Randy Rosarena, or even like Corey Seager that same year. Corey Seager was, I made a decent amount of money off Corey Seager stuff because I was like, oh, he's like fun to collect. I like him. And then he ended up winning World Series MVP, had hype going into the next season. Same with Randy. So I feel like it's a lot of the under the radar guys if you can get those cards for cheap, because Randy autos were selling for like $5 and they shot up to like 70. So I think that's the biggest thing is like, okay, like these 2 or 3 guys, they could hit a walk-off home run like Cal did on Friday night. But I don't think the normal stars, it's like, well, their prices are their prices. I don't think a huge playoff run is going to affect them that much.
Yeah, it's kind of factored into the price already. Max, what are your thoughts right now?
My thoughts are that I've gone over the months very often, in that March is a hot month, April's hottish, May tails down a little bit, June is cold, July is hot with the All-Star game, August is only hot around the trade deadline, September is cold, and October is hotter than me shirtless on a nude beach. It's hot, hot, hot. We have Pete Alonso, who's going to crush it in the playoffs. We have the Yankees.
Wait. You said Pete Alonso, the same guy that went like 0 for 15 over the weekend.
Are the Mets even making the playoffs?
I think the Mets clinched. They were the 4th team to clinch the playoffs. They clinched the playoffs for the Yankees.
Yeah, they're probably going to be the number 1 seed as of the wild card. Right. So they'll be the number 4 seed. But you're talking about the same Pete Alonso that didn't show up this weekend with Francisco Lindor. They forgot their stuff in New York.
I think we're talking about 2 different Pete Alonsos.
We're talking about the Cards Max Pete Alonso that's going to hit 10 home runs in the playoffs.
Yes, but
I'm just giving you a bad time.
No. I'm a Pete Alonso whale, as we called it. I'm a former owner of a Pete Alonso Red Ink.
Wait, can we give a quick shout out to Matt's Cards, the boy, my homie on Twitter, who has
he is a Pete Alonso giga genius.
Yeah, he's the man. So if we're gonna give any shots out to Pete Alonso, we got to give a shout out to him. But continue.
Absolutely. No. Overall, players are going to make runs. The Blue Jays, I believe Blue Jays clinched already. Logan, can you confirm?
Yes, the Blue Jays and the Mariners are going to play each other more than likely. That's going to happen.
Logan, I hope your home team wins, but Bo Bichette and Vlad Guerrero exist. They can make a run.
Bo Bichette of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yes, Bo Bichette of the starting shortstop for the Los Angeles Dodgers, set to make a huge run in the playoffs. Max, did you not see this?
We'll fill him in afterwards.
I briefly saw it. I just didn't know if that was a faux pas on my end.
No.
But I connected the dots. It was 2 very far dots to connect, but they were connected. It was all fun and games. But to continue, we have Vlad Guerrero and Bo Bichette of the Los Angeles Dodgers and Toronto Blue Jays. We have Pete Alonso. We have Acuna, Riley, and Michael Harris, who doesn't have many cards. These are players that aren't
Wow.
the hot.
You didn't even say one of your biggest guys that you sold this year. That is crazy.
Who'd I sell?
Jordan Alvarez.
Yeah, but they're actually going to win it. And I hate saying that as a Yankee fan. I know
Okay.
fan number 8 hates saying it too. Astros are going to beat the Yankees, but not a sports analysis podcast. And Jordan prices are already strong. But
That's fair.
I mean, all of those names, sans Jordan, are like completely under the radar, and only really team collectors are kind of looking at them right now outside of speculate, because I feel like no one is speculating playoffs right now. Soto is in the playoffs. So the Padres make a run. They probably won't. Wouldn't be the first time a Soto-led team has made a run to the World Series. But this is October baseball. It's the same trope that is said in May. Someone is ending with a ring, and someone is ending with that career resume boost, and nobody knows who it is. And that will be big for whoever, even though baseball isn't all about rings. Place your bets on whoever could make a run or you think will win it all, but someone is going to get a nice little career accolade boost. Keep your eyes peeled and don't sleep on the wild card teams.
Wow.
So
Good takes all around.
So question for you, Max.
Answer for you, Logan.
Because this is the opposite. Which guys would you say have kind of hit their for the season overall that are going to the playoffs? Because I have a few guys in mind that have hit kind of their peak, or like even if their teams make a run that like you won't see their cards jump crazy prices for, like, we're talking about all stars. Because if some teams, like if for example, if the Yankees make a run, they go to the World Series and Glaber goes 16 for 20, and that's obviously not gonna happen. But like he hits 500, well, he's not gonna go 16 for 20. That's crazy. But
Max's
hits 500.
net worth will quintuple if that happens.
Oops. Oh, I am.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oops.
But I'm gonna give you guys two things that real quick, Logan.
Okay.
That I am taking away from what you're saying, and then we'll get back to Gleyber Torres going 19 for 20 with 17 home runs. But I'm hearing just list cards of guys that could potentially do good stuff in the playoffs,
or at the very least
relatively high.
Buy-ish players that you think could make a run or susceptible to make a run. I know aforementioned fan number 8 is buying some Ohtani right now. I don't love that. Ohtani is not going to the playoffs. People will have their prices drop even on higher end as we enter more and more the offseason. Because guess what? Even though we're all geniuses and we're all baseball heads, and most of us are going to be buying in the offseason because we know cards and we know ball and we know baseball, these, I hate to say it if you're a listener, smooth-brained football brains just exit baseball as soon as it's not hot anymore. And that's more so seen in the higher end than the lower end. Maybe these people aren't wielding flagship black parallels, but they're definitely wielding patch autos because, it has a pinstripe from when he took it on and off during a trying out session. Keep your eyes out on the offseason. I can't wait. I don't want Ohtani right now. I just want to feast on October, have a nice cornucopia for November.
I need to be a contrarian to you, though, because Logan said something earlier that I think is the direct opposite of what you just said, which is now is a good time to buy because there's cards available right now that just are not available at other times of the year. Like, you're not, like, some of these cards that get listed during the playoffs are cards that the owners are never going to sell unless it's at this time and at kind of the peak or whatever they deem to be the peak or the opportunity to be a peak. And as a collector, I'm seeing cards that I don't see at other times of the year online right now listed. And at some point, it's like I can either own a card and kind of pay a premium for October, or I could just never own the card. And that's kind of a question that I'm always asking myself about. Like, am I overpaying, but am I even ever going to see a card at market value? I don't know.
I think because you have very strong points. It's important to distinguish not only the perceived peak, but it being a perceived relative peak. I know that I bought one of the cards that I bought. I mean, I bought 2 nice Tatises for pennies on the dollar. I bought a Bowman Sterling blue out of 25 rookie, and I'm going to deviate more from just Tatis. I have another player in mind too. and I bought.
We can't talk about Tatis again. He's banned from the program.
I have a
especially
Lambo
after,
with his name on it.
especially after what I said last time. So yeah.
Okay, I'll
Tatis
deviate. I'll deviate to Soto. To Soto is the same principle. Okay,
for sure.
I've been buying two really nice Soto cards that I bought was after the trade deadline when people were thinking, or my understanding of people thinking was, okay, the trade deadline happened. We're at this buzz. He's going to go down entering the offseason. I should quit while I'm ahead with Soto, not from a long-term standpoint, career standpoint, but from a next 3 month standpoint. Two of my favorite Sotos that I picked up was a gold Bowman's Best rookie card insert out of 50. And I grabbed that for something cheap, like $200. And I grabbed the 2019 sliding chrome image variation rookie cup for about $300, I want to say. Maybe it was 375. And those are cards that are not going to be auctioned in the driest desert of the off season where you're looking for an oasis of water. Those are going to be found in season. And when it's in season and you're at a little bit of a softer Soto time, people are quitting while they can before it gets to off season and it really gets low. I think it's about recognizing the relative peak.
Well, you just told a bunch of thirsty people to go wait for the dry desert of the off season to find an oasis. So I'm worried about water supply.
I'm saying quality is going to be better now, but Ohtani is still receiving a MVP conversation bump that I think will go down starkly once he's out of sight, out of mind. Your overall prices are going to be softer in the offseason, but if you're eyeing really nice color or low serial numbered cards, also if you see low serial numbered cards, buy regardless, because you never know the next time that you're going to see it. If you're doing this from a collect standpoint or from a I need this in my treasure trove standpoint, you can play the game of playing the seasons, but also when there's the conversation of you don't know when it's legitimately coming back to the market, that's a different story.
Logan, I need to hear your thoughts on this.
But the answer is be smart.
Always.
I think I agree with both of what you're saying. It's kind of, and to go back to what you're saying before, Tommy, is I think that's a perfect example right now of Judge stuff. I don't think, unless Judge comes out and has another unreal season next year like he does this year, you're probably not going to see a lot of the Judge stuff that's available right now, or people are just going to be asking the same prices as they are now, and they're not going to be worth that. So if you're willing to play the premium now, you can still feel good about it. Okay, like I paid the premium as a collector, strictly as a collector. I paid the premium during his run. I got this awesome card during this fun time. I got to enjoy it. Maybe he goes and wins a World Series with the Yankees, wins MVP, signs the offseason and everything, but then doesn't come out and have as good a year next year. His stuff is not, a lot of this like super nice, like higher end stuff or the low number parallels are not going to be available because people are like, well, they were at this price at one point last year. If he does this again in 2 or 3 years, they could be back at that same price again.
I think Judge is going to be a great case study long term too for how does one iconic season change someone's card value long term, even if they're not a Hall of Famer. Roger Maris seems to like hold pretty decent value in vintage stuff as far as I can tell.
We've already had the Judge case study.
Yeah, are you saying it's Roger Maris?
No, I'm saying it's 2017.
But
yeah, I mean, it is kind of crazy that he was. I mean, I wasn't in cards in 2017, but I talked to people who were, and they said Judge cards were crazy then, and they never thought they would eclipse what they've done now, and now they've exceeded 2017 for. I mean, maybe not actual card price wise, but for liquidity and the amount of cards that have been sold of Aaron Judge. Because I don't want to be fact checked on that, because I don't know if a Bowman Chrome Auto is now selling better in 2022 than 2017.
You might get Eric White back for that. With this is what Aaron Judge cards are selling for in 2017. This is what they're selling for now. But
it would be interesting. It would be interesting to see the comparisons of the two.
Yeah, for sure. I'd definitely be interested in seeing that. But Judge is a guy that I think I always hear he's old with. You know, that's a classic like. He's too old to probably have the numbers to make the Hall of Fame in the long run.
But, I mean, you can always argue, look at Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt is having the best year of his career, is going to win MVP at the age of 35 and 36. And Justin Verlander, obviously pitchers are different, but had Tommy John, and he's 38 or 39 and is going to win Cy Young.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, I think
Verlander's stuff right now. That dude, his card value should be way higher too. That's one guy that.
Well, it's just because his card. I mean, obviously you have his weird rookie year, and then he has 2 different rookie cards. So I feel like that kind of screws things up a little bit for him card price wise.
Yeah, I feel like any guy who doesn't have like Topps Chrome was just so different. It was just so different back then too. So it's hard to compare that to like modern cards, but Verlander might be the first like guy from that era as a pitcher who's going to make the Hall of Fame. So it's going to, like, I always say that Pujols and Ichiro are the first Hall of Famers from like the modern card era, kind of. Some of the late 90s guys sort of count, but those products were just so weird, as we talked about with Mitch. Did you, Logan, did you happen to catch our episode with Mitch? Me and you go way back.
I haven't listened to it yet, but it is on as I do packages this week. That is the episode that I'm listening to. I'm very excited.
Do you have any funny Mitch stories or things that Mitch taught you throughout the years? Because I think anytime we have someone on now who knows Mitch, we have to hear their 2 cents about him.
It was just, he was like probably the first person that I really, outside of Jake T cards, that I interacted with, did my first trade with. He also bought some cards from me. And just I just never had met somebody that just he loves to hold his cards. Like it doesn't the cards that he loves, it doesn't matter if they go to $10,000, you'd be like, I'm holding. Like I love this card. I found this in a box, or I pulled this, and I think that's really cool because obviously a lot of people are in it for money, which I mean it's my full-time job. So but it's cool to see the people also
Flipper.
What do you want to call me? You want to call me the flipper? That's fine. That's me. But no, I just think Mitch has a unique story, and it's just like I said, it's cool that if a card that he pulled went to $10,000 and he's in it for $1, he wouldn't sell it. He would keep it, and he'd be like, now I have a $10,000 card, but I'm not selling it.
Yeah, he'd be even more hyped about it.
Exactly.
Mitch is the best.
Yeah.
Mitch has he has 15 Griffey Jr. rookie upper deck rookies, and he's just like, I don't think I'm gonna sell these. Not even 5 of them.
You could just have one, and you could sell the 14, and you could go buy something. You could go buy another rookie card of somebody else or something. But no. Everybody.
Mitch is the best. I will. He is literally probably the biggest influence on my collecting philosophy of just everything weird, cool. If you think it's cool, just trust yourself. It's like sort of philosophy, which I respect always. But all right, Max, Logan, we've talked baseball, baseball cards. I want to hear real quick before we end just your recent pickups or anything interesting going on in your lives in the next few days that you want to talk about or did happen over the weekend. Max,
well, I think Go
sorry.
for it, man. How you good?
I'm buying and I'm selling. I haven't been proactive on eBay as much. I have found, actually, sorry, that's just an outright lie. I've been active as eBay over the past few days. I've been beating eBay with a pulp, with a barbed baseball bat, hitting it until its skull is crushed. I have been devouring eBay. I am buying items at 1 a.m. when I am delirious and tired and still getting good deals, and I am hungry. Some of these items that I've bought lately include a Judge Bat on Shoulder Update SSP that I got in a lot that was poorly labeled. I got a Trevor Lawrence Orange Fluorescent out of 25 that the title was just Trevor Lawrence Rookie Card, and that's it. That was the entire title.
How much you get it for?
So it was $300 starting bid, $500 buy it now. I didn't know if I should have been cocky and just slammed to buy it now. I did slam to buy it now in the Aaron Judge Bat on Shoulder, but I'm like, I don't know this market as well. I know he's hot right now. That could be good. I know that it's going through authenticity guarantee, so that's good both from protecting myself, which is rare that eBay makes a good protective measure, but also knowing that I'm not going to get it in hand by next week anyway, which wasn't great because he had 4 fumbles this past week.
What even is eBay authentication on a listing that says Trevor Lawrence rookie card and it's an out of 25 mosaic like orange fluorescent? What's even the process with that?
I presume
this is a rookie card. Or is it like Bowman's best? What if
I hope
Wander's rookie card?
I hope it's
Could be a whole
they
thing.
make it responsible for the pictured in the listing. Although I do know of a funny anecdote that I won't share on the pod that did happen with a eBay's authenticity guarantee.
Well, Logan, what's up with you, dude? What are you doing?
I bought some
this week?
cards.
Other than just like preparing for the Mariners playoff run.
Well, I did one of my sales, so now I'm trying to get in some more inventory for the next sale. Have over 200 packages to send, so I've been not putting that off, but it will be a few late nights. Just getting through that. Obviously,
The unglamorous side of Logan's league.
Yes, I mean, this is like I said before when I was on the podcast before. This is my full-time job, so it's what comes with it, but it's still not fun. It's the least fun part about it, but you knock it out in a day or two, then I have the rest of my week to, pick up some lots, go maybe do some searching on MySlabs or eBay or something. Probably not eBay because I don't want comps used against me. So
stay off the grid. That's the Logan's league way, I feel like.
Logan,
Yes.
you are always acquiring and dealing with cards in untraditional mediums. You're not the guy to swarm PWCC, Golden Heritage, Leland's, MySlabs. So to hear you even mention MySlabs as a potential avenue for you to buy is evolution and growth.
No,
for a good amount, for a couple weeks, I was buying singles off MySlabs that were the raw cards that were grossly underpriced.
You have been moving like a real G moves in silence like lasagna, Logan.
We talked about this, Max. You just don't remember it.
I remember
Max has a lot of conversations. He has a lot of conversations.
Max was probably going off on some banter in our group chat about something else, and it just got swept under the rug, as most things do. Because I'll wake up my favorite thing in the morning when I wake up and open up Twitter is Max is up late night finding some sort of deal, finding some sort of something that is under the radar, mistyped listing or something, and I get to read it all in the morning. It's a great way to start off the day.
Yeah, you never know what Max is going to come up with in the morning Twitter too. Sometimes
I bought a Steph Curry gold prism out of 10.
Yeah, you did that. We'll talk about that next episode. Cause I have some shit I want to say.
Haters will say it's draft picks.
Haters will say, but haters will not be able to argue that this is not the best JaVale McGee Warriors card out there. So that's all that matters to me.
Come
on. This is an explicit podcast, but Max is smarter than that. And Max, stop buying collegiate draft picks gold prism cards because I don't know why you're doing that. You're gonna be like, tell me why can't I sell this for the price I got it for?
How much does LeBron's prism draft picks gold go for?
He's not in it.
That's exactly my point.
I don't know what your point is, but I feel like that's how every episode goes. Well, Logan, thank you for coming on again. This obviously won't be your last time on, but go Mariners. I'm officially on the bandwagon as the Giants are out. Max, I am not on the Yankees bandwagon, except I am on pro Glaber going 19 for 20 and winning World Series MVP so that your net worth goes to the moon.
The bulk of my collection is bulk PSA 10 Glaber paper slabs that aren't parallels.
Yeah. Just the best of the best. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Next week, I'll take you to school in Comp C.
Yeah, next week we'll talk Comp C because that was maybe the plan. But honestly, I just wanted to see what's up with Logan. We'll see you again, Logan, very soon. Make sure to follow him at Logan's League on Twitter and Instagram, but mainly Twitter for at CardsMax because he's very inconsistent on his Instagram posts, as he will admit. The podcast, though, at Young Old Heads Podcast on Instagram, at Young_Old Heads on Twitter. And we'll see you guys next week. We'll post some clips from this. Probably Max saying some weird shit. The usual. Shout out Brian Gray for coming through with some controversy after last week's episode when Max publicly declared his love for him. That was pretty funny. We'll have to maybe touch on that next week because I don't even really understand what happened. So, all right.